So I've been talking to a few people and a lot of people, and it's funny because I watch a lot of videos and read a lot of stuff, and a lot of people that train professionally and just for the fun of it and competitively have sometimes lose their fire, and they get in these little slumps where they feel like it's hard for them to work out. Even I do. I get in these little. Truth be told, I don't always feel like working out, and that's reality. I really don't. Sometimes I feel like I just want to stop moving, or I'm not in the mood today, or I'm not feeling it. So sometimes you got to find other reasons why you're training. What are you doing it for? Sometimes the same goal that you're shooting for is not enough. Sometimes you got to find small goals inside your big goal that keeps you ignited. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that ain't. You just gotta. Sometimes you gotta change your overall basis of why you're doing something for. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a teacher and that was something you were passionate about for the past 10 years, and all of a sudden today you wake up and you're like, I don't even want to see another student or kid or another book. You need to go sit somewhere and reevaluate yourself and dig real deep. Because the worst thing, like I think anybody can ever do, and I notice this, and I always give people credit and appreciate people who love their job, because they actually go the extra 10 yards for you without them even noticing they're doing it, because this is something they love to do. So I can always tell the difference. And the worst thing you can ever be is somebody who does something that you really don't want to do. Now, don't get it twisted. In life, I'm a firm believer that sometimes you got to do something you don't want to do to get to where you need to be at. So that's sometimes life. But sometimes in life, it's things that you just don't want to do. And sometimes in life, you just have to reevaluate what does it really mean to you? What is it really about? Is it something you really want to do? How much do you really want to do it? And sometimes just alone, you just gonna have that slump where you just gonna have to dig deep. It ain't no reevaluating. You gonna have to just dig deep, lace up your boots, and get to it. And life is like this. Exercise. That's why I say I love exercise in life in itself, because it's interchangeable. You can use these same things you learn in life and exercise in life. You know what I'm saying? So in life, things don't always go the way you want them. Sometimes the process is slow, but one thing I can tell people all the time: as long as you're moving, or breathing, or living, you got another shot, another chance, and you're still making some progress. Slow progress is better than none. I tell you that now. Slow is better than none. At least you're moving towards something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stagnant, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting here. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people too, sometimes when you have a goal, don't worry about what you don't or do have. I'm learning too, work where you at. Work where you at. If all you can do is one push up and two sit ups, but you need to do one push up and two sit ups, take a 3 minute break and do it again for an hour until you build yourself up. The same way in your job. Okay, you want to be the CEO, but you're not. Right now, you're just an employee, hourly employee. Well, you need to work where you at, and what the gifts that you have at that moment. Once things start, when things start unfolding for you, you can move on and venture into other things. But sometimes you gotta work where you at. Sometimes maybe this ain't working, if that ain't working, well, sometimes readjust and say, hey, look, I'm gonna work where I'm gonna do what I can do, where I can do it at. But I always tell people, wherever when you do this, that does not mean don't give 110%. Still, I tell people, work where you at, but put that 110% effort in. So I said, just reignite your fire. Find what it means to you. I mean, that's all you got to do. Find what it means to you. And sometimes in life, it's just you got to stand up and be a man. And when I say man, I mean women and female. You got to be a man and stand up. And sometimes fight through that dirt and fight through that slug, and sit there and train and do your 10 reps. And when you get to number 9, you slam the thing like, ugh. And you say, all right, on to the next circuit part of this. And you know what I'm saying? Same thing with life. You know what I'm saying? You got them days where you don't want to do something, or you don't want to get out your bed, but you hop up, you brush them teeth. Oh, God, I don't want to even be doing this. And you take your shower, and oh, Lord, one more shoot-up hood on, and I'm out the door. Oh, here come this lady that talks to me every 5 minutes at work. I'm not in the mood today. And oh, this guy over here wants, but you still push through the day. And but the difference between training and life is, and I always tell people this, training is something, and this is why that's why I say training is a little bit more deeper when it comes to the things you have to do in life, because training is something you decide to do. You decide to do it. All this reward and stuff that comes from it is things that go through a process that you decide to say, hey, I don't have to sit here and do this. I'm going to take time out of my day where I could be doing something else, and I'm gonna sit here for an hour and 30 minutes, and I'm gonna train 3 to 4 times a week. Difference with life is you have to do these things. You have to get up. You have to work. If you don't, you'll be homeless, or you'll be struggling. You have to. Even if you're working, if you're middle class or lower middle class, you still have to work. Don't people know that, hey, maybe sometimes my chicken will add up, but something's better than nothing, and 10's better than zero. So sometimes you got to have that same mentality in training. It's like, this is something I have to do, because not that I want to, I have to do it. Sometimes you have to take that approach with it, like it is a job sometimes, and hold yourself to that fire. But like I said, man, you just gotta reevaluate. And everybody, CrossFit athletes, football athletes, people fitness models, and everybody, people always have to reingest and find out, now what is it now that's going to keep me striving for the gold. And it happens to me a lot, and I have to readjust. What is it? What is it? Someday it might be the people. Someday it might be for my own self. Someday it might be for my family. It'd be all types of reasons that I have to adjust so I can keep that fire burning inside me to reach a goal. And that's what it comes down to. So just keep your heels to the fire, man. Keep you know what I'm saying. Just stay low and keep firing. I mean, I heard this one dude say this. I heard this one dude say this. It's kind of funny. He said, "You gotta stay." He said, "Stay down till you come up." You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what that meant, but no, just keep your feet to that pavement and keep going until you come up, man. Just keep going. That means just keep striking at that, that clay. You know what I'm saying? Just like clay, you keep chiseling and chiseling and chiseling. And this is another guy. People drop jewels, and I always listen. Another guy said this. Coach told him in basketball. He said, "Man, this thing is like you might not come out and be the best all-star dude in America. You might not even be Division 1. Okay, but the reality is you have to keep chiseling at that clay. That clay, when you chisel, it just look like a rock crumbling, and it's gonna keep tapping. It's gonna keep tapping. You're gonna keep tapping, and all of a sudden, when you get done, it's gonna be a beautiful sculpture." And that's what you are. That's what you're doing in life. Everything it is that constant tapping at it and tapping at it, and every tap builds up on something else. So like I said, you just got to keep tapping at it. And sometimes, even when sculpting, they got to readjust and take different angles to get different details and designs they want in the image of what they're doing. Hey, look at that. Think about it. That's why I say you got to think about some of this stuff. Apply things in life. Apply things in life. You can get at this mud. You are strong. You did it before. Some of us live. If you lived on this earth, trust me, you had a moment in life where you felt like not wanting to do something. You felt like, this is the end. I want to give up. I don't care what got to say. I'm done. But what did you do? You dug deep. You strapped up them boots, and you put them foot. You put that foot to that ground, and you did what you had to do. So like I said, and at the time when you really want to give up, I guarantee you said, "Well, I got it. I need to get this so I can be able to do that and maybe build up on this goal." Yeah, you readjusted. You could have just said, "Hey, this is it." But no, you looked at your goals and you readjusted them, and you looked at your priorities and you got to the money. And that's what it's all about. Readjust your goals, light that fire, man, and apply things you learn in life to this, the things you learn in exercise into life. They intermingle. They interdependent. They rely on each other. So, I mean, another one from T.M.G, man. Just keep rolling and keep doing what you got to do in life